In this video, I'm going to consider this computer program and this one, which will show how we can find out whether an integer is prime or not. A prime number is a whole number greater than 1 that has exactly two positive divisors, 1 and itself. Now you can see this computer program has created an integer that has the value of 17. Now the question is 17 a prime number? Let's consider it. We know we can divide 17 by 1 to give us 17. It goes exactly. We also know we can divide 17 by 17 to give us 1. There is no other number between 17 and 1 that will divide into 17 exactly. Every division will give us a fractional part. So we can say that 17 is an example of a prime number. We can see with this computer program we've created an integer that has the value of 81. Now the question is 81 a prime number? Well, let's consider it. We know we can divide 81 by 81 to give us 1. That goes exactly. We know we can divide 81 by 1 to give us 81. That too goes exactly. Now, are there any other numbers between 1 and 81 that will divide into 81 exactly? Well, let's have a look. We have got 27. 81 divided by 27 equals 3. There's enough tests done there to tell us that 81 is not a prime number, because you can see it can be divided by 27 to give us a result that has no fractional part. Of course, there are other things we can divide it by, as I'm showing here. 81 divided by 9 gives us 9, and 81 divided by 3 gives us 27. But we know 81 is not prime, and 17 is. So let's move on to the next slide where we can see the program that I'm going to discuss. And it's the program that creates an integer of 17. This line imports the SymPy module as sp. So sp is now the alias that allows us access to the features of the SymPy module. And because you're looking at an object-oriented program, you need to bear in mind that we're always going to be needing to look at classes. And this line is using the integer class to create an instance of an integer. So let's look to that class, and you can see it's coming to view here. And it's got the name integer, which reflects this name here. And like all classes, it's got data attributes, properties, and methods. What this line will do is to create an instance of this class, and I'm showing that coming into view now. And this instance will take up the value 17. And this 17 has clearly come from this position in the program code. Now, this was responsible for creating the instance of the integer class, and you can see that is assigned to x. So x is the object reference that points to the object. And in the diagram, you can show that as appearing here. And this x will now have something that points to where the object is in the computer's memory. So x is the object reference. So when you look at this, it's tempting to think x is the object, but it isn't. X is the reference that points to the object, as this diagram suggests. Now, this piece of code is responsible for sending a message to x with the intention of invoking the isPrime property. And I can show that in the diagram as appearing now. You can see isPrime is sent as a message to this object, and it will fire off a property which I'm showing here. And this property will look to the 17 and will have a little bit of code within itself to work out whether 17 is prime or not prime. Now, it is prime, as we've already seen. So what the property will do is to generate true, because it is prime. And this true is then returned to the position in the program code that was responsible for sending the message. So it returns to here. And of course, this is then printed, and the runtime that's coming into view now shows you it is true. Now, a careful look at this tells us that we're dealing with a property, because in this position, there is not an open and closing brackets. So this is an example of a property. Let's now go on to the next slide to look at the other program that we introduced at the beginning of this video. Well, it's almost the same, except here you can see I've put 81 and not 17. So we're going to get an integer that holds 81, not an integer that holds 17. So the runtime of this, if we look at a diagram to represent it, will mean that we'll be using the integer class. We'll be creating an instance of this integer class. This instance will exist in its own right. It's an object of the integer class, and it will hold the 81 that's come from here in the code. Of course, we know that this is assigned to x, so we're going to get an object reference that's come into view, and this object reference will point to the object, as you can see by the arrows that are appearing. Now this will send a message to the object. This property will be accessed, and it's the property of this x, where x points to the object. Consequently, the diagram representation will show a message going to the object that x is pointing to. And what this will do, it'll invoke the property, which will do a little calculation to work out whether 81 is prime or whether it is not prime. Now, we know it is not prime. So what will happen here is false will be generated, which is returned to the part of the program that was responsible for calling, for messaging, for invoking that property. And naturally, what's going to happen? The print will print out false, and the runtime will look, as you can see now, false. Before I finish this video, I would like to stress that this line has created an instance of this class, which is the class that was defined in this module. It's not the integer class of the Python programming language. How can I tell that from this line? Because here is the alias to the SymPy module. So what this line is doing is creating an integer object of the SymPy module and assigning it to x, and x is the object reference.